On today's Minute of the Apes, Todd doesn't do teasing anymore because he likes to push our buttons.
Take your sticking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
What is the secret of the divine bomb?
The only good human is a dead human! There is fire, there is smoke.
The Minute of the Apes. 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 Yay!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. And as I spoke, I was pushing their buttons. No, I don't do too many teases anymore, and that's just because it's, if I'm going to push the buttons, you boys get to tease, right?
All right, Daddy.
Sounds so sexual.
All right, Daddy.
I kind of meant that. Ooh, and then Sean calls me daddy and all that. So, woo. Anytime Sean calls me daddy, I know it's a Thursday.
All right. Sorry, I'm just looking at my Nest camera. I saw my wife was heading out to work out.
Thirsty Thursday.
Ooh.
It's a thick, thirsty Thursday.
Wow. One more? Do you want to pile one more on top
What'd
of
you
that?
say?
I said it's a thick, thirsty.
Thick, yeah, there you go.
All right. So Thursday.
It's a Taco Tuesday Thursday. Oh, wait, sorry.
That's funny you bring that up. While I'm out driving around the Metroplex here today, I see two billboards for the same place that were advertising Taco Tuesdays. Is that really even anything you need to advertise anymore? Because in this area, Taco Tuesday just seems so absolutely obvious and repetitive.
Well, whenever I worked at Blockbuster when we were downtown, there was a 10-star that was near there. And every Tuesday they did Taco Tuesday, and it was like buy one, get one free. And so you would go to Hog Wild.
So Tuesdays is one of our weekly meals at my house because I know the macros on it, and I spend about an hour and 50 minutes making tacos. Like, it's not just like fries, brown some meat and throw some sauce in there and actually make everything myself. And it's because of how long it takes me. I do it on Mondays, not on Tuesdays. So my nutrition coach, who's been following me the last few years, I would say 3 months ago, goes, "At what point are we going to talk about the fact that you eat your tacos on Monday and not on Tuesday?" My description of him in my notes is that it's Taco Tuesday.
I don't know that I've ever done Taco Tuesday.
Oh,
you haven't? Oh.
I love tacos. I love all that, but
tacos are good all the time.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is I don't ever look at it's Tuesday. I got to have them. So that's why when I see those billboards, I'm like, is that really even effective for anybody?
Because it might be.
In this area especially.
Well, it might be different when you, if your child were younger. And you kind of make it something ceremonious to go do every
special day.
You eat in every single. You eat in most nights, but that one night is the night that you guys go out to dinner. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, fast food wasn't as common as it is now as a meal option.
It's more
so
special,
we ate in 6 nights a week, and my family didn't have a ton of money. Our treat was one night a week, which is typically Friday, to go out and have fast food somewhere,
KFC or something.
KFC
like that,
or go to Pizza
Dairy
Hut
Queen.
or something
it
along
has
those
changed
lines.
definitely in that way because most families now go out to get their food
A lot,
a
It's a lot more common,
and it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to pull the reins.
Yeah, sorry, we're doing it again.
It's like we see each other weekly, but still that rabbit hole of let's talk about something pulls us in. So instead, Sean,
All right.
I'm turning to you. Could you tell us what happens with minute 59?
We're going to start minute 59 with mutants forever on the march and ends with General Aldo saying they must now prepare.
All right, here we come. Minute 59, Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
The doctor is doing her best. I don't believe Cornelius can live. Caesar does. He refuses to leave his side. MacDonald, how can a benevolent God allow the branch of one of his own trees to crack and injure an innocent child?
It didn't crack, Virgil. It was cut.
Order in council! Order! Order! The humans are attacking. They have killed one gorilla, and they have wounded another. Tell them.
We were scouting desert approaches to the city and saw their army. We fired. My companion was killed. I have come to warn you.
And how long before they get here?
Soon. So now we must prepare.
As of Mid-59, we have a village worth of apes and humans, plus a ghost city's worth of radioactive people, no Ricky, some dead mutants, some dead apes. Oh my goodness.
So before we get to Richard's laughter that I shared with him about the line reading at the very end of it, visually what you see are the trucks and the jeeps going across the sand. Our gorilla, who somehow survived the fiery blasts, crawling away. Then we see Virgil and McDonald as they talk outside the council area. Aldo calls them in, and suddenly the injured ape just shows up within seconds of that, and they begin to talk.
There's a lot of little things in here to talk about. Well, should we start at the top
Let's start at the top.
Because I would easily jump to a couple of different things.
Let's go top.
I wanted to hear that one girl go, "I'm not dead yet."
Well, my first thought whenever I see him crawling away is, were this made in the current state, you'd have Culp come over and shoot him. But we obviously need him to get away to tell everyone.
To warn everybody, yeah.
Okay, so here's my first question. Are the humans that close?
Well,
that
yeah.
he could crawl back that quickly? And I mean,
How does an injured gorilla beat all the humans back to Ape City?
who are in cars?
Yeah.
Regardless of if you're traveling through saying you've been injured and you're crawling, how are you going to get back faster?
Well, let's talk about the fact that they have a convoy with them, and they probably got to go through a mountain pass in order to get to the city itself, whereas the ape can cut through a stream and a small area to get to city a little bit easier.
If we had seen,
I'm just making this up, but
I
you're
know
right.
you
There's
are.
no reason for the gorilla to actually get back to the city before the
if they
humans
had
do.
established the travel in the first 30 minutes of the movie of them going out to the dead city, then we would know what they had to get through to get back, and it would explain how the ape could get back faster. But yeah,
if they'd come to the dead mutant.
Mm-hmm.
And said, "We shall make camp here as the sun sets," or something like that.
That's a good idea.
That would have given our gorilla
but
time.
They have Geiger counters. They have guns. Could they not have walkie-talkies? Could they not have a way for that gorilla to communicate something? Could somebody not be, looking at the outpost and he's and falls down and they see some anything visually could have worked outside of this. I like the idea of camp. It makes no sense for, at the very first, we see him crawling away, and it cuts away at 13 seconds. Then he reemerges without any kind of transitionary stuff. He reemerges 30 seconds later. 30 seconds. This does not work.
I mean, and again, it's also one of those coincidental things where everybody's here for a council meeting, and the injured gorilla just happens to show up in time for the council meeting where he's going to announce that we're going to fight with humans because they're attacking us. Were they going to have a council meeting if this injured gorilla didn't show up? Is this coincidence or what?
Well, I want to talk about Virgil and McDonald for a second.
Okay.
Because we have the scene shot, and it's as it is. Virgil says the doctor's doing her best. I don't believe he can live, but Caesar does. He refuses to leave his side. McDonald, how could a benevolent God allow the branch of one of his own trees to crack and cripple an innocent child? McDonald didn't crack; it was cut. All right, so.
Oh, they also established that the doctor here, that the female is a doctor.
Correct. They could have, but this is after she's introduced.
I know, but yeah.
They probably shot this at the same time they had the council all assembled outside. I can imagine them going back and saying what happens earlier in the campfire does not make sense based upon the dialogue that's here.
Okay.
Because Virgil is the one looking at the campfire earlier. McDonald's not in that moment and doing the investigation. And they probably thought, oh crap, McDonald is the one who discovers that it was cut and not cracked. We don't have that. We need to go back and get McDonald in those scenes. And they took Virgil out of those moments of looking at the campfire because he's just dumb here. I mean, for a man of science.
How could a branch break?
But from a benevolent God. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is not Virgil.
Have you not heard of an accident?
No.
Yeah.
This is, granted.
You're right. That is not Virgil.
Granted, he was dumb enough to shoot the camera
100 times
with this gun. I mean, he's clearly not that smart of an orangutan, but this is not that character. This dialogue does not belong to Virgil.
So
Virgil's not a philosopher. He's more about physics and relativity of time and space and travel. And
now, if they wanted to establish Virgil as the beginning of the orangutans being
religious, yeah,
this line would make sense, but he would need to be that more sooner at the beginning of the script than now.
Or you have to see him tussling with science versus religion.
Right, yeah.
I'm also going to offer you something, an idea I just had of how to moderately fix the idea of gorilla crawling away and showing up. Do you know what shot belongs between the crawling away and the council?
Another horse?
The people standing outside, the gorillas, and the chimps and the orangutan shot looking at Caesar's hut. If you put that shot here, it's your time buffer.
Right.
Now I don't need you to explain, and it doesn't bother me at all. If you give me something, I don't know when this is occurring.
And that may have been when it shot, because it would give a reason for Virgil to say the doctor's doing her best. I can't believe he can live. We don't need, it would be cool if we saw McDonald and Virgil leaving that moment and walking into this moment of the council, to put those, to connect those together as if they were outside as well.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. That scene of the gorillas assembled outside the hut is not even really anywhere in the script.
Right.
So I don't know when they shot that. I don't know if they shot that to have.
Right.
I don't know if they shot that when they did their pickup scenes of the campfire.
They probably realized, hey, we need a shot of people looking after he's been hurt, and that they probably could have even shot that early on when they shot all the other stuff around the village.
Yeah,
and they probably did just to have it,
because they did. I mean, these were none of the actors in that particular scene are the named actors. They're all just people in makeup, but they spent some time on the makeup to get all these actors looking good for that shot.
That's funny you mentioned that, because when I was looking at the shot of Virgil and McDonald, I'm watching all the backgrounds, and I am shocked by how many hero makeup
there is.
Yeah, it's
very good.
Very little pullover masks in this film, and I'm sure that's simply because the application of the makeup became easier and easier as they went through these films.
Yeah,
but I mean, had this been beneath, we would have seen nothing but pullover masks.
Did you notice the one gorilla over Virgil's shoulder who's up on the wall? He just keeps stamping in that one place. Like, he acts like he's going to get down. And then, no, I'm going to stay up here. And then all these other gorillas come over and he goes, hey, look, guys, this is my spot. I'm going to get down. No, you know what? I think we're going to stay up here. I mean,
he's the glitch in that game that just kind of keeps repeating a movement. And you're like, oh, it's stuck up there a lot.
I'm not going to fall. I can't jump down. It's too far.
What I thought was odd about the shot of Virgil and McDonald is they've got some shade on them. And I don't know why they didn't put a little more light on them. They've got like a tree branch or something kind of obstructing who they are.
Probably to make it seem like you're in the area that's realistic or something.
I guess I could have used a tide on that or something just to kind of get that shadow off. I don't know.
Of course, as I'm watching Sean's guy that he pointed out, I see the people walk by, and all I can think is all those guys are like, oh, geez, Sean's up on the rock again. Look at him.
My rock.
So Aldo then climbs on top by the throne, right, which we now know is supposed to be a throne and two chairs. We can see it's carved out of stone. And he goes, order! The humans are attacking and killed one of our scout gorillas.
This other one's injured, and his injury is, I got a hole in my chest. That's it.
Yeah.
And he's not having trouble speaking
he
or
doesn't
anything.
Have any blood on
hey
him.
Hey guys, the humans blew up my partner, and
so the next minute will tell us why. But no humans are supposed to be in the council room, yet there are humans all over this council room.
Yeah.
And when Aldo calls them up, they all kind of move forward as if to hear what he's saying, including the humans who should not be there.
Right.
By his own instruction earlier. We have chimps, gorillas, we have orangutans, we have McDonald, we have some more humans. And they bring the soldier from the earlier part with another gorilla. He's kind of supposed to be hunched over, a little bit limping, and then he just cannot read a line.
No, he can't.
Oh, my gosh.
What is his line of dialogue?
They blew up my companion, partner.
We were scouting the desert, approaching to the city. We saw the army far away. They fired. My companion was killed. I have come to warn you.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I've almost got it queued up. Can I play? Do you guys mind if I play it back so we can actually hear the flatness?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Wounded another. Tell them. We were scouting desert approaches to the city and saw their army. They fired. My companion was killed.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a hostage video when he's having to read his statement.
Yeah,
it does.
They fired at my companion and he was killed.
This actually would have been a moment would have been nice to actually have an actor do a voiceover in the studio
Right.
for this rather than have him try to shout that through the mask.
Right.
Because he's having to work really, really hard through those P's.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
to make that dialogue.
I also wish we